What is up, everybody? And Best There Is Games videos that watch us, follow us. Thank you if you do. We're trying to get bigger and better. I always tell this, but damn, life is tough. I've been sick, horribly sick, for the past 2 weeks. I'm just getting over it. But on top of that, I have a surgery right after it. So it's just one thing after another, and just need a break. But sadly, resting from when I was sick was that break. So we have a lot of updates. Normally do these for the channel when I go live, but YouTube is lacking in videos and we need to start get cracking again. A lot of the guys that do help me, everyone's just thrown around everywhere. A lot of stuff's going on. So hopefully we'll get back tomorrow. I'm hoping we will be recording some HeroClix games. We're going to be dealing with a lot more Magic stuff. And I always try to do this, and like it's just you got to be consistent. You got to keep pushing, and you just got to keep going at it and going at it, and get a get a get some content, but get a vibe out there for people. But the thing I wanted to talk to, because right now what's going on for us is, well, first of all, I guess I should first say the big thing for everybody is Reno. We're in California, so Reno's right next to us. Here in the Sacramento, Roseville area. All my players are out, or a good amount of my players are out in Reno, playing in Magic Fest and having a lot of fun, doing a lot of cool things. Kind of leaves me out here in the cold, but I understand, like, this is the game time, fun time. I mean, I will make it out one of these times, but you know, with family and the business and all that, there's a lot of other stuff to do, and these guys are gonna be gone for all weekend. So good luck to everybody. That's the big thing going on right now, and it's really cool. I heard Standard had a really bad turnout for their tournament, at least this Friday night. We'll see how it goes this weekend. I can't wait to make reports back on it. Again, I can't really do so many videos on a lot of Magic because I've been selling it for years, but like playing it's a different beast to talk about. And that's why Declan was always brought in here to. We also have Connor, but Connor hasn't been on here yet. But Declan's always on here. Was here purposely for Magic, but he got wrapped up more in the HeroClix things. He jumped into it, and he helps me more with HeroClix. And it's just because I think me and him could get really deep into it with Magic. I am learning from him more so than having a discussion with him. But that being said, yeah, so right now we're in separate area. We're building, basically, we're going to have our own backdrop stage for going to be our YouTube channels. Certain videos will be filmed on there. Right now we're moving things around. Me and my cousin, he's been helping me out. There's still a mess at hand. It's everywhere. You can't see it all, but it's just crazy. Because we'll start shooting. We normally do a lot of them like on our couch at our house. It makes it easier just because it's late at night sometimes. We're just chilling. But we kind of want to start doing them up a little. And of course doing more like Skype videos with people and other players from other cities and stuff like that. And that's for like Dragon Ball, you know, and Magic and HeroClix, all the three main games we play. Want to start recording more of our board game play. We're looking this. I think we're gonna try to set up this summer on Mondays. We have a guy that's gonna be heading up a board game league, and so we'll be recording hopefully some nights where you get to watch some board games and see if you guys like them. That's gonna be exciting. But a lot of things are coming. It's just we've been gone from the internet so long. It's been crazy. And I mean, every day I was sick, I was just going, "Oh man, another day without making content." But luckily, there has been too much things coming out, as far as like Magic reveals and HeroClix reveals, that we need to sit there and really talk and brainstorm about. We can reflect about the new Captain America series, but I think it's only been legal for 2 weeks, so we got time. Mainly, we'll see when the Fantastic Four set comes out. Um, what we already know kind of what they all do, but how well we could see they could play with other things and what it could work out with. We'll try that out because we already know what everyone was going to do with Steve Rogers, and there's already Vulture teams. To me, it's not that creative, but hey. So basically, that's kind of what I'm gonna get into. Is we're gonna start doing on Smack My Clicks Up. It was originally built to that channel series was built to break down clicks that were like almost unbeatable, but we got to the point where it started getting easier to understand which ones to beat and stuff. Don't be wrong, when there is ones that are hard to beat, it's not that simple. But we haven't had a piece really that we're like, oh god, we can't beat this, because there's an answer for everything. So Smack My Clicks Up is going to turn more into like a reality check for HeroClix. So there's going to be videos coming where if it's just me ranting, or me and someone else ranting, or them ranting about maybe what's going on in HeroClix world, where we can sit there and kind of talk about it and smack it up and smack it around what needs to be changed, or an idea, or whatever. But with another thing we're going to do is things with Magic. So like perspectives with Magic. And I think today, hopefully you're still here with me, because the title is going to say it all. It's about being, self-conscious about going out there, being a player, and going to a store. And the problem is, I met two new players yesterday. They came in. I think a store was not letting them hang out and open up their box or something that they purchased, and they called and said, "Can we come and open up? How late are you open?" I'm like, "We're open till whenever, basically till our HeroClix tournament's over. But if you guys want to chill, come and chill." And they were totally okay and down with that. So they came in and we talked, and we got a lot into just everything with Magic, and kind of talked a lot about Arena, and they're talking about, the ups and downs of it. And I understand, because I have a video I have to edit already that issues I'm having with WotC, but we're not going to get to that, because what we're going to focus on here is the idea of people playing online and not really playing in stores. And it's somewhat of a WotC problem, because they're not trying to really force them to, but that's how these games will die. Is, of course you can play online, but it's not the same thing. But the biggest problem I've been noticing, and I was reading actually on Facebook tonight, someone had social anxiety about going out to Friday Night Magic and Magic events, period. So here's my thing. I suffer deeply from depression and panic disorders and just straight general anxiety. I've had this forever, it's genetic in me. I've had it since I was a kid, but I'm very open with it. I've talked to people about it, and the problem is it kind of enables me, but the plus of it is it kind of gives people an understanding of why I might be off that day, or why I might be not in the mood to do something, or something like that. And I've realized that helps a lot. And it's hard to run a store when you sometimes don't want to be there because you're breaking down, or your depression is so deep you just don't get it. But I won't lie to you that my store is a huge blessing with a lot of those feelings as well. It works vice versa, where having a bad time and stuff, I sometimes forget everything and just enjoy the presence of, my fellow comrades and that play games or whatever, and it helps. So what I was thinking is, to anyone, like, and this is a thing with my brother too. My brother, he's 19, I believe, and he's thought about playing Magic with me at the shop. But he's always, I don't want to deal with people, and I get it. In general, a lot of people don't want to deal with people, because people, for the most part, suck. The world sucks. But you can get lucky enough to find nice people. And you have to remember that every group of anybody, there's going to be some bad apples. You just got to try your best to avoid it. But there's a few things that I would like to recommend to anyone that is in this predicament and that are asking people, hey, how do I do this? How do I get out to FNM and this and that? I think number one is to be straight honest about it. That's the biggest thing, I think. It's just to be, hey, tell these guys if you never met them before. It would be probably best to bring a friend or something like that. But if you don't have that, regardless, either way, tell people. Let them know. I don't think you're going to find that many assholes in a group that are going to treat you worse for knowing that. Them knowing is going to help them understand and let us understand when I know you have to leave or you want to drop. You know, some people just go, oh man, why did you drop, man? It's uneven now, blah, blah, blah. But if we know that you were trying that whole time and you're going through stuff, I know it seems kind of wrong, like you shouldn't have to do that, but it's a process, and it also helps you out yourself because you start to feel more like release. You feel more of that pressure getting relieved from you because instead of you thinking about it all the time, I wonder if they noticed or whatever. You don't have to worry about it because they know that you're anxious to be there. They know that you're nerve wracked to be there. And then there's other ways you could go about it. So you can make it known. I think no matter what, making it known is the biggest thing. But then after that point, I think you can either just be the quiet guy. Because to be honest with you, I'm very loud, talkative. You would never guess that I could shrivel up into a ball and cry from panic attacks and stuff like that because how much of a fun guy I am or whatever. And I've been that way for a long time. It's just I got really bad in my older years. It's just something that happens to a lot of guys that have, or a lot of people in general that have panic disorders. Once they get older, they get worse and they become, instead of being anxious all the time, you start developing phobias and panic attacks, so on. So what's best is not to run away from these. And it's also big when it comes to, you know, being at these stores, and these stores need you. Like my store, I need players. I need them there. You know, this is what makes the world go round for me. I don't want to have a small closet and sell out of that and, you know, not have a community. A community is what's fun. That's the best thing. Having this like family, you know. And again, forgive me, I'm not trying to sound cool with my voice. I'm getting over my sickness, so it's like all raspy. So I'm not trying to sound all like deep and stuff, but it's just the way it is right now. Because normally I'm like blah, 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 loud and all that. But anyway, so what I would do is if you want to be the quiet type, because you're not really that much of a dude that likes to talk, that's fine, you know. I think most people will be okay with that. Again, as long as you made it kind of clear in the beginning that, hey guys, just give everyone a heads up, you know, or talk to a couple people saying, hey, you know, I'm not really good with this whole social thing. This is my first FNM, or this is one of my few FNMs I've been to. So just giving you heads up, I might need a break or whatever, and tell the owner, and they should be chill. I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for anyone that is suffering with something that you can't see, like a broken arm, leg, but it's mental and emotional, and they don't get treated in such a way as we would someone that we move out of the way for the guy with the broken leg. You know, we make sure he's all right. And but when you got someone that's got mental things and social things, and it's rough, and we don't see it. So yeah, I know how hard that can be. But you know, just let people know. And if you want to sit there and be that quiet guy, you know, while you're playing, and make sure, you know, you play the best of your abilities, most likely they'll be chill with you, unless if they are, if there is an asshole, they might call you out on some plays and stuff. And just, if it does, let it roll off your back. Realize that this guy's being a pain, and he's like this with everybody. But the other thing I suggest is maybe talking a little bit. Talking is going to distract you, and now granted, you can't talk through your whole game because you're gonna be paying attention, and so are they. But talking to, I've seen so many new players come in and just start talking to people. Hey, what's your name? And before their game starts and stuff like that. I've actually talked through games because being a store owner, if I know the person seems kind of cool and we're laughing and just talking, I just don't take the game that serious at that time because we're drafting or whatever. Especially if we're having like a funny conversation and stuff like that, I'll go back to playing and then go back to what we were saying and stuff like that. But I think talking to people will also let you down a little bit, and calm you down. I mean, like, bring you a little bit down to the ground of reality and ground yourself, where having this conversation takes you out of the mindset of worrying about the social aspect, because you're already being social. Because it's the whole thing of like, the anticipation is what's, and the what ifs are what are getting you at that point. They're the ones that are getting you to where you're freaking out about playing and stuff like that. But once you get over that hump and you're already doing it and stuff, that's when it just doesn't matter. You don't even think about it. It's like, going on autopilot when you're driving home. You don't realize the times you stopped at the lights and the turns you made and this and that because you were thinking or whatever. And that's kind of how it is once you start talking and getting into the game and all that. It all kind of disappears. And when you're done, you kind of start going like, oh, damn, like, okay. And you might get nervous all of a sudden. You might get nervous again and be like, oh, or anxious about the fact that, oh, I'm around people and I don't know if I like this. I think when that happens, just gotta remind yourself you just did it and you were fine, and you just gotta keep going. And I think it's always okay to we're not, as far as like having panic disorders, we're not supposed to run away from our fears. But like with magic and stuff, if you're not panicking or anything like that, you just don't like the situation. There's a lot of situations people don't like, but the problem is if you really want to be there and you still don't like the situation, but you want to be there and if you go home you're going to regret it, just take a break. Even if it's you scooping that second match or whatever, go to the bathroom, wash your face, think about everything, and go back to the game. Go back to talking to people. Find someone that's not playing and go start up a conversation with them. Some people may not be talkative. Hey, if they're not, that's fine. But I think that's what you need to try to do. And eventually you'll get to the point where if you got a good enough group, and I could vouch for my players, you just have that uncomfortableness will just go away because all these people get you. They understand. And if you have to leave because you have to take a dump or something, we all might make some jokes about it because we're friends with you, but it's like you can laugh at it too and be like, they're not making fun of me. It's just we're all having fun. So it's one of those things that you worry about constantly. Like, oh, I don't want them to think about it. But you'll get to that point if you just push, and that's what I've been noticing a lot of people are asking about, like, how do you guys do it when you go to F&M and this and that? And I, applaud anybody that goes, like, alone to a new store and that are worried, because I've seen a lot of guys show up to my store by themselves, not knowing anyone, and you kind of just gotta make the best of it. Some guys don't make it. Some guys just don't fit in, and that's okay, because you'll find that place where you fit in. Some people are strictly business. They came there just to win, not to make friends. And that's cool and all, but that's just not really our vibe. We want to play, but we also love being a family. We love being there for each other and knowing each other so well. So I think if you're that type where you're like, I'm not sure where I want to go, just go around, go check other places and go see what what stores have for you, and hopefully you have enough around you where you could find somewhere. And if not, start your own group. I mean, you could start being in your 30s. You could even start like a local meetup group, and I'm sure you could find players. Go if there's only a few shops and you don't like how those shops are. You could talk to players there and be like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up at Denny's or the library and stuff." Because I was talking to even these gentlemen last night. They're talking about how they only could play late at night because their jobs, and they just go play at Denny's and stuff. And it sucks, but that's the way it is. But luckily, we're open up later, so they know that since we open up late, we stay open late, so they can stop by anytime they want to just hang out and talk. And I think ultimately that's what you need to look for. So you just need to look for what fits you. But ultimately, like I said, you just need to get out there and let people know what you're going through. You need to get out there, explain to them how you feel, explain to them what's on your mind, and it will relieve so much of that pressure off you. It will relieve so much, and it will help you. That them knowing that already, you don't got to worry about thinking about, oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? It doesn't matter because they think you're gonna do it already. So it's fine, and you're gonna be fine. So hopefully, me giving you a little bit of insight and me watching players, and also coming from a side of my own anxiety just in the world, but seeing people that have problems having social cues and stuff like that when it comes to playing Magic and any card games. But this was mainly a Magic person that was saying this, and something I saw within my younger brother. You just kind of got to go with it, and I get it. You don't really maybe want to talk to people, maybe, but you want to get out and play. So you just got to make that decision. You got to go over that, take that step, and hopefully, just by doing that a few times, you'll eventually get there, and you'll either like to play at that place. If not, go somewhere else, find your own place. But just don't forget to make sure people know what you're going through, because again, I'm telling you, that will make it a million times easier. And especially me, if you tell me that, I'm gonna look out for you times 100. I'm gonna make sure you're comfortable, and make sure and check up on you, and make sure that you're having a good time, and if you need a break or anything like that. But that's a thing I think we need to look at, and especially nowadays, we're losing so many players to online and all online people playing arena and stuff like that, which arena is fine for what it is, but it's never going to take away or it's never going to replace the feeling of being with someone and playing face to face. And it's just, that's Magic, and I don't want us to ever lose that. So I don't want people to get comfortable and say, I'm never going to go out or whatever. So again, with people asking these questions like, hey guys, what do you try to do? That's my opinion. Hopefully it helps you. We plan on doing a lot more videos like this, again, with all the other games and Magic, about life, within the life of these games, and our opinions and our pieces. So right now I had time, getting a little bit better, still in the middle of sorting, building our stage for our future videos, and redoing the store to get that ready for other videos. With big stuff coming up, it's just me getting everyone kind of, I realized me being, you know, who I am, which is the store owner and the guy that backs all the videos and edits everything. I have to really get behind everyone and push everyone, because everyone's going other places, and they don't mind helping, but it's just everyone's so busy. So I kind of got to round people up and get things going. So hopefully we won't be away too long. I have my big WotC complaint coming up, which I had issues with my pre-release, and that will be in detail, because that one was me more in the moment, and I was very upset, and I'd rather not rehash all that. But yeah, so I'm going to pop this up, and hopefully you guys check it out, and appreciate the input that we're giving out, or I'm giving out, and see more people out there playing Magic. And from here on out, hopefully we will be getting a lot more videos. So thank you guys. Bye.